How to Overcome the Invisible Walls of Adversity to Unleash Your Purpose-Driven Business, written by Angie Norris. Most people face a myriad of headaches, heartaches, and hang-ups. Everyone has a story, and some will make you cry. But our troubles should not define us. The way we handle our troubles is what makes us who we are. I have strived to be the best version of myself, in spite of the adversity that I have experienced in my life. To say my childhood was normal would be a lie, but the question is this: what is the definition of normal? A traumatic experience took place when I was 7 years old that caused me to grow up quickly and realize that my childhood wasn't like other kids my age. The deep, dark details aren't really that important at this point, but just know that my family's life stories are beyond abnormal, to say the least. The PG-13 version is that my parents were from two different backgrounds. My mother was born and raised in an extremely poor village in Thailand. She faced the hardest of adverse situations, and her life focused on survival. My father was born in the United States, and upon graduating high school, he enrolled in the military to get away from his small-town roots of Illinois. While my father was stationed in Thailand at the age of 19, he looked across a crowded room full of people and saw my mother. He explained that at that moment he thought, "I just have to have her." He walked across the room, wrapped his legs around her legs, and told her, "You are mine," and then carried her away. My mother was only 21 at the time, and unbeknownst to my father, she had already been married twice and had 4 children. This situation was common for destitute Thai families who pushed arranged marriages onto their teenage daughters as a way to improve the quality of life for the entire family unit. That didn't seem to stop my father's determination to marry her, save her from her poverty-stricken third-world country life, and bring her back to the United States to start his own family. My brother Bobby was born in 1975. I was born in 1977, and our first home was a tiny trailer in a very small town in Illinois. My parents didn't have much money, but for a while, life was good. Due to the military, we moved so much that I had attended 9 different schools by the time I was in high school. During that time, my parents got divorced, married, and later divorced. Yes, they got married 3 times to each other and divorced 3 times from each other. To say they had a love-hate for each other would be quite accurate. My father loved my mother at an almost unhealthy level, but he was extremely controlling and wanted her to be compliant, silent, and agreeable. My mother was not the stereotypical self-serving Asian he had expected, but rather a strong-willed, independent woman who had her own dreams and goals for her life, including working hard to make money to send to her 4 young children she had left behind in Thailand. My father kept sole custody of us and became a single father raising 2 children in San Antonio, Texas. Those years were extremely hard for my brother and me because we didn't fit into any of the full Caucasian or Asian communities, and we were constantly being told we were adopted due to being half Asian while our father was full Caucasian. This caused me to have major issues with my heritage, my identity, and how I interacted with friends. Luckily, I wasn't alone because my brother was in the same position, but he faced his own demons as a result of our chaotic family life. We were latchkey kids because our father was gone all day from sunrise to sunset, so we fended for ourselves and had to be very responsible from a young age. While my brother and I were visiting our mother for a summer when I was 9, my father remarried another woman without telling us. She was also born and raised in Thailand. Our new stepmother was the exact same height as me, and my father introduced her by stating, "This is your new mom, call her mom." And that is exactly what we did from that day forward. During my final year of elementary school, we moved back to that small town in Illinois where I was born. The town was 99% Caucasian, and our family stuck out like a sore thumb. During junior high, my brother and I made some new friends. but we certainly felt that we were different and had to prove ourselves to be included by classmates, teachers, and even family members. My high school years were emotional because I had grown a hatred for my father. The list of reasons had grown through the years, and I was counting the minutes until I graduated high school so I could get far away from him. My father set unrealistic expectations for me during high school, where I was perpetually in trouble for breaking rules that my father knew I could never keep. This was his way of keeping me from enjoying childhood, sleepovers at friends' houses, fun times that high school kids got to do, and most of all, kept me in a state of fear. I was a rule follower, straight-A student, excelled at every sport, and did my very best to always do the right thing. I never drank, never did drugs, and never got in trouble at school, but I often wondered why I was always in trouble at home. I always felt like a disappointment to my parents, and it wasn't until I was much older that I realized that my father manufactured this purposeful plan of unrealistic rules to keep me continuously grounded and under his controlling authority. I also felt abandoned by my birth mother, who had remarried, had another child, and seemed to have moved on with her life. Having never lived with her the majority of my childhood and all of my teen years, left me with a yearning to get to know her and have that mother-daughter relationship I so badly wanted. Despite facing many heartaches and hurts throughout the years, I focused on excelling in school and sports. Although my father and birth mother never went to any of my athletic or school activities, I realized that the only person I could count on was me. I knew that if I worked hard in school and sports, I could get scholarships to universities. Moreover, if I worked various jobs, I could save money to pay for expenses once I was on my own. I focused on striving for the positives in life because the negatives were always so disappointing. The hardest part was that I felt alone. I felt different, and I was constantly wondering why my parents and upbringing weren't normal. My father told me that if I didn't live at home and attend a local university, that he would disown me, and that is exactly what happened. When I was 17, I moved away and never returned. The number of backstories and details of my life are unaccounted for in this chapter. However, one day I hope to document these memoirs and personal accounts in a book to tell the entire story. Although much of my life wasn't rainbows and kittens, it is the story of my life. And regardless of the hurts that came with it, I'm proud of who I have become despite my upbringing. I had food, shelter, clothes, a kind stepmother, and amazing extended family support. And regardless of mistakes, I know that my parents love me in their own way. There are people out there who have faced circumstances much worse than I ever have, and my hurt is a tiny instance on the spectrum of adversity. Childhood stress can play a role in our adult lives, and as I grew older, I began to make many mistakes and wrong turns of my own. Striving for that sense of belonging, I married the wrong man and tried to fit into his world. A world of chaos, bad behavior, sinful activities, disingenuous people, and a marriage I certainly didn't imagine having. I found the strength and courage to divorce him regardless of embarrassment. Our life was fun, but it was not the married life that I had been dreaming of since childhood, and his actions and lifestyle were steering me down the wrong path. After my divorce, I did a lot of soul searching and chipped away any negative character traits I began to show so I could find myself. What I realized is that I had to really figure out who I was, embrace my hurts and past, be vulnerable and transparent, and surround myself with people who accepted me for who I am, baggage and all, and not for who they wanted me to be. I was pretending to be someone I thought everyone wanted me to be. And I pushed down the hurts of my past to a subterranean level of my soul, where no one would ever know about my pain. Unfortunately, by not facing my demons, there were consequences. I wasn't at peace with who I was or where I came from. I had a battle of loving my parents for the goodness in them, but I couldn't let go of the hang-ups they caused me as a result of their choices. I had to face the fact that I had an invisible wall of adversity that I thought if I suppressed would be out of sight and out of mind. Nothing could have been further from the truth. Until I faced my pain, I was paralyzed and couldn't move forward. I had this inner voice telling me that I was meant for more, but I was held back by the aftermath of being a casualty of my childhood circumstances. No one was to blame but myself for standing in my own way on my path to greatness. Once I figured out how to get past my pain, I was able to fuel my energy toward being the best version of myself in all aspects of my life, both personally and professionally. I had to work to overcome my past hurts that kept me from my true potential. Without that work, I would not have opened my guarded heart to the people I have in my life today, and I most certainly would not have had the courage to start my own business. Since the age of 30, I have finally felt a sense of belonging with friends, loved ones, my new husband, and now extended family. My whole life, I tried hard to fit in when I should have been focusing on trying to stand out. I had finally embraced my past, become proud of my heritage, and was happy about the person I had become. I made the decision to forgive, focus on positives, and cherish the moments with my parents while I had them in my life. As an adult, I got to know my birth mother at a much deeper level, as well as allowed my father to spend time with me, my husband, and my 3 children before he passed away. Although it wasn't always easy, I'm thankful I chose this path to rise above the walls of adversity, embrace where I came from, and understand that my parents faced their own set of adverse tribulations throughout their lives. Understanding their challenges and heartaches allowed me to appreciate and love them. Adversity comes in various forms, and no matter who you are, you have probably faced adverse situations in your life. Some of you have had difficult and unforgettable situations, while others have experienced mild doses. Whether you had physical, mental, emotional, social, spiritual, financial, or entrepreneurial adversity, you had to take steps to overcome your adversity to move forward. I don't tell the story of my background of adversity because I want sympathy, but to show people that although adversity can place bricks of sadness, fear, resentment, or hurt around your heart, there is still the option of chipping away those bricks in order to heal and move toward happiness. How did I unlock my true potential? How did I move past the pain and towards pleasure? How did I realize that although I was a victim, I was using it as a crutch to stay in the safe zone of being untouchable? For me, I took several steps to help become the best version of myself. Depending on your hurts, hang-ups, and heartaches, you can alter these tactics to aid you in your journey of self-transformation to overcome the invisible walls of adversity. Be honest with your past. By embracing your past self and circumstances, you are able to shift your focus away from the chapters where adversity and pain exist and open new chapters focused on happiness. Strive for self-awareness. By having clarity on your personality, character, feelings, motives, desires, emotions, beliefs, and weaknesses, you can tackle the traits that are holding you back and focus on the ones that can carry you forward. Own the impact of invisible wounds. Loss, shame, guilt, fear, anxiety, grief, hurt, embarrassment, resentment, and confusion are shared by so many who experience adversity. Understand which of these feelings are keeping you from moving forward by learning how to cope with each of these pain points to overcome them. Focus on healing and transformation. If you want to be happy in life, focus on the healing process of working through your pain so you can transform into the person you really want to be and toward a place of contentment. Find an outlet for therapy. Every person deals with pain in various ways. By finding your favorite outlets, you can begin the therapy you need to move past the pain. Choose faith over fear. When you live in a state of fear, you build walls around yourself and hinder yourself from experiencing happy moments and meeting genuine people. By focusing on faith, your desire to overcome adversity becomes greater than your fear. Understand that you are not alone. The reality is that there are many people who face adversity similar to you. In fact, you may realize that there are many people who experienced harder and harsher traumatic circumstances in their lives. By coming together, you can gain empathy, wisdom, support, and healing. See the strengths in adversity. Look for the learning opportunities in every adverse situation. As much as you want life to be a smooth ride, you grow in your faith, resilience, and coping mechanisms with each struggle. Emulate adversity warriors. All around you are people who have faced grave adverse situations and came out the other side stronger and even more inspiring. Avoid toxic relationships. Nothing keeps you remembering times of hurt and heartache than people who are constant reminders. Stay away from those who purposely try to bring out the worst in you or possess toxic behaviors. Let go of self-defeating and unproductive thoughts. Often, you can become paralyzed by the mindset your past has given you. Understand that this is only keeping you from moving forward and producing results. Realize that suffering is optional. Pain, heartache, and memories are part of life. However, suffering indefinitely is a choice you can control. Harness the power of forgiveness. The hardest of these tactics is forgiveness, yet it has the most powerful impact on you. The effort to forgive those who have hurt you can entrap you from the web of hatred and resentment. Redirect toward your true potential. Let each success energize you toward your true potential. Small wins daily, no matter how personal or professional in nature, can propel you toward bigger wins. Stop playing the victim. There are no benefits to playing the victim to your circumstances and situations. No matter who was at fault, rise above the victim mentality. Stay positive always. The power of positivity is truly remarkable. Moods are contagious, and the more positive you are, the more your surrounding people will be too. Harness the power of new beginnings. Despite the circumstances you have faced, you have an opportunity to provide a happier life than you experience for those around you. Seek clarity on your purpose. Figuring out your purpose in life can be one of the most effective ways to get you started on the path to happiness. When you can determine your purpose, you leverage your talents, skills, abilities, and gifts to influence others. Find a competitive advantage. Extreme adversity fosters creativity and innovation, both personally and professionally. When you experience a problem, it becomes an opportunity to discover or build ways to thrive in advantageous ways. Provide purposeful impact. When you choose to focus on others, your purpose becomes greater than you. You are then able to create lasting and meaningful opportunities for your community. Rise stronger through entrepreneurship. Hardships can build mental strength, which proves that you are stronger than your circumstances. Couple this with your entrepreneurial spirit and talents, and you can rise to astounding achievements and accomplishments. Unleash your purpose-driven business. The emotional strength and resilience you've developed through your adverse situations can help you build a business with a culture that stands for respect, understanding, compassion, and acceptance. There you have it, a long list of tactics that could potentially help you begin to think differently about the hurts, hang-ups, and heartaches that were results of your adversity. Whether we like it or not, adversity is a part of life. However, overcoming adversity can be the biggest hurdles we face. How we deal with struggles, challenges, and difficulties builds character, courage, resilience, and strength. Don't let adversity keep you from pursuing your dreams. For years, I allowed the hurts of my past and insecurities from adversity keep me from becoming the entrepreneur that I wanted to be. If you overcome the invisible walls of adversity, you can unleash your purpose-driven business to finally be part of something greater than your circumstances. About the author. Angie Norris, the founder of TVpreneurs Entertainment Network, is an advanced online marketer who specializes in building, launching, and managing TV channels as apps on Roku, Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, and other streaming TV platforms to help individuals and businesses get their messages heard by millions of people around the world. Tap into a multi-billion-dollar market, add new income streams to their business portfolios, and get ahead of their competition through the power of TV. Angie has worked in marketing for over 20 years, primarily in information technology, working for Fortune 500 companies. Her skill set includes video, graphics, web, and sales funnel design, as well as TV channel and mobile app development. She prides herself on learning new and often difficult emerging technologies, as well as training others to leverage cutting-edge tools and resources. Be sure to access your free TV channel Masterclass at www.tvpreneurs.com/masterclass.